All right, so it looks like somebody's ready to tackle the Greek energy market.
Sounds like a challenge.
It is a challenge. You sent us a ton of info on their new tariff system.
Yeah.
And honestly, all those colors, green, blue, yellow, even orange, it's kind of like picking a paint swatch for your electricity bill.
Yeah, I can see that.
But don't worry, we're here to decode it all.
Absolutely.
By the end of this deep dive, you'll be dodging those marketing traps like a pro, and maybe even save some euros along the way.
Sounds good.
We've got this great breakdown from a Greek energy expert on YouTube. Let's see if we can crack this color-coded puzzle together.
All right, let's do it.
So let's start with green tariffs.
Okay.
They're marketed as having this stable, government-regulated fixed price announced at the beginning of each month. Sounds pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah, if only were that simple.
What's the catch?
The catch is something called the readjustment clause.
Readjustment clause.
Think of it as like a hidden surcharge.
Oh, like when you think you're getting a good deal on a flight and then they hit you with all the extra fees for baggage and seat selection.
Exactly. And this is where the marketing comes in. Salespeople might lure you in with that initial price,
Right.
but then your final bill could end up looking completely different thanks to that readjustment clause.
So with green tariffs, you're essentially playing energy roulette.
Yeah, you could say that.
That fixed price may not be so fixed after all.
You got it.
All right, so green tariffs may not be the haven of stability they appear to be. What about yellow tariffs? What makes them stand out?
So yellow tariffs are directly connected to the energy market's fluctuating costs. It's like riding the waves of energy prices in real time.
Okay.
And this cost is determined by something called TAA, or the energy clearing price.
Break that down for me. What exactly is TAA?
So imagine it like this. Every day, energy is traded on the market, and the price fluctuates based on supply and demand, just like a stock market. But for electricity, the TAA is the average price from all of that daily trading, and it's calculated at the end of each month.
So you're telling me the price can change every single day, even within my billing cycle?
That's right.
That's kind of wild.
It is. Let's say one day there's a heat wave and everyone's blasting their AC.
Yeah.
The demand for energy goes up, driving the TAA higher. But then the next day it cools down, demand drops, and so does the TAA.
Okay.
Your yellow tariff bill reflects these daily changes, meaning your rate could be different each day of the month.
Wow. I'm starting to see why people find this whole system a bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
So is this daily fluctuation the only thing that affects my bill with a yellow tariff?
Well, not quite. You also need to factor in two additional costs: a fixed system loss percentage, which is currently around 13.5%, and then the supplier's profit margin, which can vary depending on who you choose.
Okay, so let me make sure I've got this straight. Yellow tariffs are directly tied to the daily market price of energy, which means the rate can vary even within a single bill. And then on top of that, there's a fixed system loss percentage and whatever profit margin the supplier decides to add.
Precisely.
Okay.
Now, trying to understand this system loss thing, it basically accounts for the energy lost during transmission and distribution. Think of it like a little bit of electricity that gets lost along the way as it travels from the power plants to your home.
So with yellow tariffs, there are no hidden surprises like that readjustment clause we saw with the green tariffs.
Right.
But I do have to be comfortable with the fact that my rate could be different every day.
That's a great way to put it.
All right, so we've got green tariffs, which might seem stable at first glance, but can come with these hidden price hikes. And then yellow tariffs, which are directly tied to the daily fluctuations of the energy market and have a couple of extra charges tacked on. What's next?
Well, if you're looking for a little more predictability, let's talk about blue tariffs. They offer fixed prices for either 6 or 12 months.
Okay, now that sounds a bit more like what I was hoping for with those green tariffs. A fixed price that gives me peace of mind, but I'm guessing there's a trade-off here, right?
You're absolutely right. That stability comes at a premium. Essentially, you're paying a bit extra for the supplier to take on the risk of those market fluctuations. They're guaranteeing you a certain rate, regardless of what happens in the energy market.
So with blue tariffs, it's like I'm paying for a bit of insurance against that price volatility.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
Makes sense. How much more expensive are we talking here, though? Is it a significant difference?
It can vary, of course, but it's definitely something to keep in mind.
You know, it makes me wonder if you're on a blue tariff and the energy market prices happen to drop significantly during your contract period, you might end up paying more than you would have on a yellow tariff.
That's a great point. You're really thinking strategically about this. And it highlights the importance of understanding your own energy consumption patterns and risk tolerance.
So if I'm somebody who really values predictability and hates surprises on my energy bill, blue tariff might be worth considering.
Yeah.
But if I'm a bit more adventurous and willing to kind of ride the waves of the energy market, maybe yellow could be more advantageous, especially if I can learn to manage my consumption strategically.
Exactly. It's like choosing between a fixed rate mortgage and a variable rate mortgage. There are pros and cons to each, and the best choice depends on your individual circumstances and preferences.
Right, so we've got green, yellow, and blue down. Now, I'm really curious about this orange tariff. It's not available yet, but I hear it's going to shake things up even more with a dual pricing system based on the time of day. What's the thinking behind that?
This is where it gets interesting. Orange tariffs are all about encouraging people to shift their energy consumption to off-peak hours. Imagine if you could get a discount on your electricity rate for running your dishwasher or doing laundry late at night when demand is lower.
Okay, now, if that's a game changer, I could actually see myself strategizing my energy use to take advantage of those lower rates. What kind of discounts are we talking here?
Well, the exact details are still being worked out, but some estimates suggest potential savings of up to 30% for those who can shift their energy-intensive tasks to off-peak hours.
Wow, that's significant.
It is.
It's like getting a reward for being energy conscious.
Exactly.
I can definitely see the appeal of that. So with orange tariffs, it's not just about choosing a color, it's about choosing a time of day to use energy strategically. It's a whole new level of energy management.
Precisely.
All right, so we've got a good overview of these four main color-coded tariffs. Green is the potentially deceptive fixed rate. Yellow is the market-driven roller coaster. Blue offers stability for a premium, and orange is this intriguing newcomer with its time-based pricing. I'm feeling much more confident about navigating this colorful energy landscape now, but I have to admit I'm still a bit curious about which color might be the best fit for me personally.
Well, don't worry. We'll dive into that next.
Yeah.
We need to explore your energy consumption habits, risk tolerance,
Yeah.
and maybe even unveil a few more secrets about these tariffs before we can crown you the energy champion of Greece.
Sounds like a plan. Let's keep digging. Okay, so we've decoded the basics of green, yellow. It's even got a sneak peek at that upcoming orange tariff. But now comes the fun part, figuring out which one might actually be the best fit for you.
Exactly. It's like we've given you all the ingredients. Now it's time to cook up your perfect energy recipe.
All right, so if I'm picturing myself as someone who works from home and uses a fair amount of energy during the day, what kind of tariff would make sense?
Well, if you're using a good chunk of energy during the day, a yellow tariff might be worth exploring.
Okay.
Since it's directly tied to the market price, you could potentially benefit when energy demand and prices are lower. Like if you shifted some of your energy-intensive tasks to the evening or early morning when demand is typically lower,
Okay.
you could ride those lower TAA waves and save some money.
Plus no risk of those sneaky readjustment clauses we saw with the green tariffs.
Exactly. But keep in mind, those additional costs,
Right.
the system loss percentage, and the supplier's profit margin, you want to factor those in when you're comparing your options.
Okay, so yellow tariffs might be a good fit for like a work from home power user like myself. But let's say I have a friend who's always jet setting around the world and barely uses any energy at home. What would you recommend for them?
In that case, a blue tariff might be the perfect travel companion.
Okay.
Even though you pay a little extra for that fixed rate, it could actually end up being cheaper overall if their energy consumption is minimal.
Plus, they wouldn't have to worry about fluctuating energy prices while they're sipping cocktails on a beach somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Peace of mind has its value.
So now I have to ask, what about those orange tariffs? They're not available yet, but that whole time of day pricing thing is really intriguing. I'm picturing myself doing laundry at midnight just to get a discount on my electricity.
It definitely has the potential to be a game changer for those who are willing to be flexible with their energy habits.
Yeah.
Imagine getting a notification on your phone like, hey, electricity is 30% off for the next hour. Time to run the dishwasher.
It's like a flash sale for electricity. I love it. But what if I'm someone who just can't be bothered to strategize my energy usage around these time-based discounts? Is there still a place for me in this colorful energy world?
Absolutely. There's no one right answer here. It all comes down to what matters most to you. If convenience and predictability are top priorities, then maybe sticking with a blue tariff is the way to go.
Or even a green tariff, as long as you understand how those readjustment clauses might work.
Exactly. Knowledge is power. And now you have the knowledge to decode those tariffs and make an informed decision.
It's interesting how these new tariffs are almost forcing us to be more aware of our energy consumption habits.
Right?
It's like they're pushing us toward a more conscious relationship with how we use energy.
I agree. And it's happening at a time when the global energy landscape is undergoing a major transformation. We're seeing a shift toward cleaner and more sustainable energy sources, and these new tariffs are a reflection of that larger trend.
Speaking of sustainability, do any of these tariffs offer like specific incentives for choosing green energy?
That's a great question. While the color-coded system itself doesn't explicitly promote green energy, many suppliers do offer green energy options within those tariff plans.
Okay.
So it's definitely something to consider when you're choosing a provider.
So even if I'm mainly focused on finding the most cost-effective option, I can still make a conscious choice to support renewable energy.
Absolutely. It's a win-win.
Okay, so let's zoom out a bit and talk about the future of the Greek energy market. What
Yeah.
trends should we be keeping an eye on? Besides those awesome orange tariffs, of course.
Well, one development that's particularly exciting is the rise of smart grids.
The smart grids.
Yeah, these are intelligent networks that use digital technology to optimize energy distribution, improve efficiency, and seamlessly integrate renewable energy sources.
So instead of relying on like a one-size-fits-all approach, smart grids can adapt to those fluctuations in supply and demand, making the most of renewable energy sources like solar and wind power.
Precisely. Think of it like a super efficient traffic control system for electricity.
Okay.
Instead of gridlock and wasted energy, we're moving toward a more dynamic and responsive system that can handle the increasing influx of renewable energy.
That's amazing. But what does this mean for like us, the everyday energy consumer? How do smart grids actually impact our lives?
Well, they offer a whole range of potential benefits.
Okay.
For starters, we're talking about more personalized energy management tools.
Okay.
Imagine being able to track your energy usage in real time and see exactly how much those late-night laundry sessions are costing you.
I can already picture myself like turning off lights and unplugging appliances obsessively.
Well, it's about empowering consumers to make more informed decisions about their energy usage. And with smart grids, you could even get real-time pricing information. So you could actually see how the TAA is fluctuating throughout the day and adjust your energy habits accordingly.
Oh, wow. That's next level energy awareness.
Okay.
But wait, it gets even better, right? I heard something about being able to sell excess energy back to the grid. Is that actually a thing?
It is. It's called net metering. And it basically turns your home into a mini power plant.
Whoa.
If you have solar panels, for example, and you're generating more energy than you're using, you can actually sell that excess energy back to the grid and earn credits on your bill.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is.
It's like turning your roof into a money-making machine. So with smart grids, we're not just talking about being smarter consumers, we're talking about becoming active participants in the energy ecosystem. We can produce energy, consume energy more consciously, and even contribute to a more stable and sustainable grid.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
a truly empowering shift, and it's happening right here in Greece.
I have to admit, I'm getting pretty pumped about the future of energy now. What can our listeners do to stay ahead of the curve and make the most of all these exciting developments?
Well, first and foremost, stay curious.
Okay.
Follow industry news, engage in online forums, and don't be afraid to ask questions. The energy landscape is evolving rapidly, so being an informed consumer is key.
It's like we need to become energy detectives, constantly searching for clues and uncovering new insights.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to experiment. Try out different tariffs, explore new energy management tools, and see what works best for you.
It's all about finding that sweet spot between cost savings, convenience, and sustainability.
You got it. And remember, even small changes in your energy habits can have a ripple effect, contributing to a more sustainable and efficient energy future for Greece.
This has been an incredible journey. We've gone from feeling completely overwhelmed by those colorful tariffs to feeling excited about the future of energy in Greece. It's amazing how a little knowledge and exploration can completely change your perspective.
I completely agree. It's been a pleasure diving into this topic with you.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground, from decoding those color-coded tariffs to exploring the potential of smart grids and the future of energy in Greece. But before we wrap up, I have one final burning question. So out of all these colors, green, yellow, blue, even that futuristic orange, which one do you think is worth exploring further?
Well, that's the million-euro question, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've given you all the ingredients. Now it's time to cook up your perfect energy recipe.
But seriously, where do we even begin to choose?
Okay, well, the first step is to take a look at your own energy habits.
Yep.
Are you a creature of habit, or are you flexible enough to shift your energy use to like off-peak times?
Uh-huh.
Do you crave predictability,
Uh-huh.
or are you comfortable riding the waves of the market?
Like those personality quizzes you see online.
Exactly, for energy.
Exactly. Once you have a better understanding of your own energy personality, you can start to match it with the different tariff options.
So if you're like team stability and hate surprises on your energy bill, blue might be your best bet.
Yeah.
But if you're a strategic energy ninja ready to like counts on those time-based discounts,
Yeah,
then orange could be calling your name.
it could. And don't forget about yellow.
Right.
If you're comfortable with a bit of fluctuation and want to be directly connected to the energy market, then yellow could be your golden ticket. Just remember to factor in those additional costs for system loss and the supplier's profit margin.
Right. And green.
Yeah.
Green is a bit of a wild card. It seems tempting with that initial fixed price, but those readjustment clauses can really sneak up on you.
It's a bit like those buy one, get one free deals
Ah,
that end up costing you more in the long run.
exactly. So it really comes down to doing your research, weighing your options, and choosing the color that aligns best with your needs and priorities. And don't be afraid to reach out to different suppliers and ask questions.
Yeah.
They're there to help you navigate this colorful energy world and find the perfect fit.
It's like having a personal energy stylist
There you go.
to match your lifestyle and budget.
This is about more than just picking a color. It's about taking control of your energy consumption and becoming a more conscious and empowered consumer.
Well said. And as the Greek energy market continues to evolve, staying informed and adaptable is going to be key.
Absolutely.
Who knows what new colors or innovations might pop up in the future?
Yeah, maybe we'll be back here in a few years doing a deep dive into energy tariffs powered by AI or something like that.
The possibilities are endless, but for now, we've armed you with the knowledge to conquer the Greek energy market. So go forth, explore those colors, and find the tariff that sparks joy in your energy journey.
And remember, whether you choose green, yellow, blue, or even the mysterious orange, every kilowatt hour you save is a step towards a brighter and more sustainable future for Greece.
That's a perfect note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the colorful world of Greek energy tariffs. Until next time, stay curious, stay energized, and choose wisely.